the opposite of the law of demand, right? When it doesn't happen. That is the second thing you will learn. Third, you will be able to learn and understand the to categorize the various factors which affect the demand for any product or goods or the commodity. Okay. So next is you will be able to apply the concept of elasticity of demand and the types of the elasticity of demand. That concept you will learn. So these are the objective of this lecture. Let me repeat once again. Since the name of this unit is demand analysis, we will discuss what is demand. We will discuss what are the exceptions to the law of demand. We will discuss how many factors are there which put an impact onto the demand. That means if any commodity is sold into the market, how many pre-factors are required because of which its demand sometimes increases and sometimes its demand decreases. Finally, we will study the concept of the elasticity of demand and we'll try to handle certain numerical related to the elasticity of demand. I hope the objective of this lecture is quite clear to you. So let's start with the concept of the demand. Okay, when we talk about the demand, can we say a person do not have money, buy a certain thing, right? Or desire to buy a certain thing which he cannot afford? Is it a demand? So the answer is no. Say for example, if there is a beggar cannot buy Mercedes. He may wish to buy, he may desire to have it, but he cannot buy it because he do not have sufficient purchasing power. So what is demand? Demand is the amalgamation of three things. Number one, there should be a desire to purchase a particular product. Desire means a strong willingness. Desire means later on that desire should convert into the strong willingness to purchase that product. Okay, I want to purchase a product, that is your desire, right? I will purchase a product, that is your strong willingness. These two things are there. Third thing which is required to create demand is your purchasing power or ability to purchase the product. So when we talk about the meaning of demand, the demand consists of three things: a desire to purchase a product, or maybe a wish to purchase a product. But just desire is not going to help you out. You need to develop a strong willingness that I will purchase. You need to commit yourself. You need to put efforts. You need to go to the market. You need to search the product which you want to purchase. And finally, you should have the ability to purchase. So a beggar may be having the desire to purchase a car, but he may not be having the willingness and ability to purchase a car. Number one example. Number two example can be, see, I want to purchase a car, say for example, and I can afford it also. So I desire to purchase a car. I can afford it also. Both things are there. But I don't feel like that I should purchase it right now. It is the correct time because I already have a car which is working well. So I do not have the willingness to purchase it. So if any one of the three things is not there, if the purchasing power is not there, if desire is not there, if willingness is not there, then you are not going to create the demand of the product into the market. As simple as that. Of course, if the desire is not there, why I would purchase the product? Maybe so the second and third stage will never come, right? So the first stage of demand is having a desire. So if somebody asks you what do you mean by demand? So demand is a composition of three things: desire of a particular product, willingness, and the ability to purchase it. It has the following features: willingness and the ability to pay, and demand is always at a certain price. Very interesting thing. Now, this phenomenon is responsible. This demand is always at a certain price. This phenomenon is responsible for the next topic that is known as the law of demand. So it is always at a certain price. Say, for example, uh, I am going to the market. I want to purchase Apple. My paying capacity or my, okay, whenever we go to market, we have a thought in mind. We have a pre-price conception in the mind that usually the price of the apple in certain season, maybe say for example 100 to 120 rupees. If anywhere it goes beyond that, I will not purchase the apple. I will not go to the market and purchase it because it is very costly. So at 100 to 120 rupees, I am willing to purchase. I am creating a demand as a consumer. But the moment it goes up, say beyond 150, say 200 rupees per kg, sometimes it happens that in a particular season, the price of a particular commodity goes up, like edible items, especially maybe milk product, maybe the apple or fruits and vegetables. When it goes up, so I may not be purchasing it. I may not be wanting it, right? So demand, my dear friends, is always at a particular price. That is a second feature. The first feature, you should have the ability to purchase, and it is always at a certain price. My dear friend, one more thing: demand is always per unit of time. That means at a particular time also. Okay, I gave you an example of season. So it is a particular time because with time the price changes. These two things are also correlated. So demand is time bound, demand is price bound, and it is bounded by the willingness and the ability to pay. So I hope bound, and it is bounded by the willingness and the ability to pay. Is bound and it is bounded by the willingness and the ability to pay. So I hope you understood now this point. What is demand and what are the three different types or the features of the demand, not types, the features of the demand. Right. So if it is clear to you, you can write down yes into the chat box. You can send thumbs up so that the mentor sir can see it. Okay. The moderator sir can see it. Next. Now, I was just continuously talking about the demand that when I go into the market, I will purchase Apple, right? So when I was using the word I, that means I was talking about the individual demand. Individual demand, this one, individual demand. I was not talking about the market demand. So what is the difference between the market demand and the individual demand? Let's understand it. Because you all are the management students. When you will grow up in your life, you need to, most of the time you will be working in a company and you will be wondering about what is the demand of my product. And your demand, your product demand will depend upon the market demand of your product. So what is that? It's very easy. Let's quickly do it. Say for example, Ramesh is there. Where is my cursor? It is always a problem. Itna nahi hai ye. Yahan chala gaya. Right. This pointer is too small. Let me make it a bigger one so that I can see it clearly. I will use the highlighter. Right. Now this is better. So say Ramesh is a person. R. R is Ramesh. Ramesh go to market and purchase apple, say 10 kgs in a week, right? So Ramesh purchase apple 10 kg in a week. It is kg, right? And second is Suresh. Suresh goes into the market and Suresh purchase 5 kgs apple in a week, right? Very simple concept. And quickly we will understand it. It will not take much time. It just typing time it is taking, right? And if I say what third more person, let me add, say Ramesh, Suresh, and Kishan. 3 people are there into the market, and Kishan purchasing power is say is equal to 2 kgs apple he is purchasing. So if you add all these three, so how much quantity of all these 3 people are purchasing from the market in a particular week at a particular time at a particular price? 10 plus 5 plus 2. Write down into your chat box. It will be 17. So if I add all these three things, it will give me the 17 kilograms. The sales of apple in a week at a certain price, say 100 rupees per kg, that is the market demand. That is the market demand. So if I say in a market, just assume that in a market there are just 3 customers. There can be more than 3 customers. There can be 10 customers, 20 customers, 100,000 customers. But if I assume that in a market there are just 3 customers and they composite the market, then the demand, market demand here in this case is 17 kg. And what is the individual demand? Say what is the individual demand of Kishan? The individual demand of Kishan is 2 kg. The individual demand of Ramesh is 2 kg and the individual demand of Suresh is 5 kg. 10 kg and 5 kg. 2, 10 and 5 kg is the individual demand. If I add it, it will become the market demand. It is very, very easy. So I hope you are getting it, you are understanding it. Let's move ahead now. Now this is another example of the demand schedule. I have just taken it. So here you can see this left hand side, it is an example of individual demand. Say Ramesh go to the market at various prices. What do you see? These are the prices. Price of a pen, say 10 rupees. At 10 rupees, when the price of the pen was 10 rupee, its demand was 100. If the prices is less, 9 rupee, the demand was 200. Likewise. So it is the demand of a pen. But assume that there are 3 people into the market, person A, person B, and person C. There are 3 people into the market. So at 10 rupees, A had the demand of 100, but B is having the demand of 200. C is having the demand of 300. So what is the total market demand? Just add the demand of the A, B, and C. You need to add it. If you add it, you will get equal to 600. So at 10 rupees price, the demand of pen into the market is 600. At 9 rupees price, the demand of pen into the market is equal to 900. Likewise. So that is a general difference between the individual demand and the market demand. I hope you understood it, right? This is an easy concept. So herefore, on the left hand side of your screen, you see the individual demand, and on to the right hand side of your screen, you see the market demand. Now, based upon that, I write down something that you have seen that if the prices of the pen were reducing, the quantity consumed by the individual was increasing. So first of all, what is the law of demand? The law of demand states that if the prices of a particular commodity increases, the demand of that particular commodity decreases, subject to all other factors which put an impact onto the demand are constant. Now, this definition may seems to be difficult. It has a very humble and easy meaning. If I assume there can be many factors which put an impact onto the demand of a particular commodity, But if I assume that all other factors except the price are constant and only the price is moving, price is increasing and price is decreasing, then with the increase and decrease into the price, what is the impact onto the demand of a particular product? So if the price increases, the demand of the product usually goes down. I'm using the word usually, not always. If a price decreases, the demand of the product goes up, right? Subject to all other factors which put an impact onto the demand should be stable. Now, what can be the factors? Like income of a person, the price of the substitute goods, right? The advertisement, the preferences of the people. If I say that all these things are constant, only if I'm moving the price of a certain commodity, say if I'm moving the price of ice cream, increasing or decreasing, then what will be the impact onto the demand? So if you see here, the law of demand state, where is my marker? The law of demand states that keeping all other factors constant, if the price of a commodity decreases, then leads to increase into the quantity demand. The price and quantity share the opposite relationship, right? This law implies that the price of the commodity and the quantity have the inverse relationship, right? Now, with the decrease into the price of the commodity demanded, increase as the product become cheaper. That is known as a price effect. Now, let's ask a question. Okay, why does it happen? Why it happens that if the prices of a particular commodity decreases, its demand increases? So, see what happens. Let's check. If the price of the particular commodity decreases, right, that commodity become cheaper as compared to its nearby substitute. Say fruits. Now, fruits can be many substitutes are there. Say you go to the market, you purchase. Many times people are indifferent. Say between muskmelon and the watermelon, right? So if the prices of the muskmelon goes down, it will be cheaper as compared to the prices of the watermelon. So people may shift from the watermelon to the muskmelon. It is the general phenomenon. So if the prices of a particular commodity goes down, it becomes cheaper as compared to its nearby competitor, direct competitor as well as the indirect competitor. Say there are two travel agencies. If one travel agency is charging the higher ticket than the or higher commission than the another travel agency, then of course the people, those who are paying more to the costlier travel agency, they will shift to the cheaper travel agency, right? Because there is no such difference into the quality of the product. Subject to all other factors remain constant. So they assume that, okay, anyhow, they are going to book the tickets now. So why should I give more money to other person? So if the other factors are usually constant, we see a drop into the price leads to increase into the number of the customers. That is because of the price effect. Second thing, what happens, very simple, that is known as the income effect. Where is my cursor? Here it is. Second is income. So what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to tell you the why law of demand works like that if the price decreases, quantity increases. Why it happens? So the first reason is price effect. Second reason is the income effect. Now it is also related to the price effect. See what happens. Say if I have 100 rupees in my pocket and I go to the market, this is mango season, I'll go into the market, I'll purchase the mango, right? Okay. Right now it is the early mango season, so the price of the mango is slightly costly. After 1 month, if I go into the market, even it will further go down because more crop will come into the market, more product will come into the market, more mangoes will come into the market. So if I have 100 rupees in my pocket and the prices of the mango is 100 rupees per kg, I'll go to the market, I'll purchase 1 kg mango and I'll come back, right? Okay, that is what I will do. After 1 month, again I will go to the market, but this time I find that the prices of the same quality mango or same breed of the mango is now 60 rupees per kg. What will happen? Whether my income will increase or decrease? Because earlier I used to spend 100 rupees per week in the purchase of the mango. Now I am spending 60 rupees per week to purchase the mango. Tell me whether my income has increased or decreased. My income has increased by 40 rupees. Because with the help of just 60 rupees, I have purchased the quantity which I wanted. So what I am going to do with that 40 rupees? Now, when I say I am going to do, I am the only person of this universe. This universe is very big. There are hundreds of people living in your city, thousands of people living in your city, maybe purchasing the mango. Now, if this happens with everybody, then what they will do with that extra 40 rupees? There are three options. They will purchase 1 kg and they will save 40 rupees. And they may, the option number 2, they may purchase something else from that 40 rupees. Option number 3, they may purchase some more quantity of the mango. So there can be a category of people, those who are going to purchase some more quantity of the mango. So what we will see, reduction into the price of the product has led to the increase into the income of the people, and some of the part of the income, maybe people are interested in investing or in spending into the same product category, right? And when I add, this is known as the income effect. When I add both these things, price effect and the income effect, it will become the substitution effect. That means I will substitute the product. I will change the product. So when the decrease in the price of the quantity, they're easily substitute for the costly product, right? So when I talk about income effect and substitution effect, that leads to the creation of the law of demand. So I'll say it. Let me make something modifications. Let me correct one thing. I have to correct one thing. Please be careful now. The correcting one thing means why law of demand work like that? It is because of price effect. Now, price effect is nothing. Price effect is equal to income effect plus substitution effect. Income effect, I have told you. Substitution effect, invariably, I have also told you. I'll tell you one more thing, that if you decrease the price of the particular commodity, it will be cheaper as compared to the other competitor commodity, and therefore the people will purchase more. And if you increase the price of the commodity, it will make costlier as compared to the another product, and people will not purchase that commodity, right? So I gave you the example of watermelon and the muskmelon in that particular case. So if you add the income effect and substitution effect, addition of income and substitution effect will be equal to the price effect. हल्का सा थोड़ा सा मैंने different बता दिया था, मैंने correct कर दिया अभी, right? So the addition of income effect and the substitution effect will equal to the price effect, and price effect will be responsible for the law of demand. Now, when we say the law of demand, a popular curve always comes. This is the y-axis. Y-axis, this upper one is always y-axis. Y-axis is here P. P stands for price, and this is the x-axis. In the x-axis, this is the Q. Q stands for the quantity of any commodity. So, if the price of any commodity decreases, the quantity increases. So, law of demand says that the demand curve, this curve which you see, this curve is known as the demand curve. I will represent it by D. Demand curve, right? So you can see at the higher prices, people are purchasing lesser quantity, and if the price goes down, people are purchasing more quantity, right? So demand curve is always downward sloping. Remember this. This is one of the characteristics of the demand curve. Demand curve is always downward sloping. So I hope you learned a few things like what is demand curve, why demand curve is like this, because of the price effect. Price effect is equal to the income effect plus substitution effect. Before I move ahead, I would like to take certain questions, right? I would like to take certain questions, right? So I am going back to the chat box. Let me check the chat box that if there is some query or the question which is pending, which is to be solved by me. Just let me check the chat box where it is. Here is the chat box. Okay. So, okay, I will do this thing. Once I will complete one topic, I will be doing this thing. Income effect plus substitution effect is equal to the price effect. Absolutely correct, sir. Whosoever has written this question. Okay, somebody is asking, please tell the price effect one more time. The is equal to the price effect. Absolutely correct, sir. This thing. Income effect plus substitution effect is equal to the price effect. Absolutely correct, sir. Whosoever has written this question. Okay, somebody is asking, please tell the price effect one more time. The price effect is equal to income effect plus substitution effect. Right? Now, what is the income effect? If I will go to the market, I have 100 rupees in my pocket. I want to purchase mango, but the mango is now 60 rupees per kg. Prices has goes down. Then I will purchase the mango in 60 rupees, saving 40 rupees. My income of 40 rupees will increase, right? I will purchase more mango. Income effect. Secondly, if the prices of the mango goes down, the another thing will also done. Maybe I was not purchasing earlier the mango, I was purchasing the guava, which was 60 rupees per kg. But now I can purchase the mango at just 60 rupees per kg. Earlier, because mango was 100 rupees per kg, I was not able to purchase it, right? So income effect plus substitution effect, if I add it, that will lead to the price effect, right? Substitution effect, I have just explained. I will explain once again. Say there are two fruits, guava and mango into the market. Price of the guava is 60 rupees per kg. Price of the mango is 100 rupees per kg. You want to eat mango, but you cannot afford it. But after 2 days, you go to the market, you find that the prices of the mango are also 60 rupees per kg. What you will do? You will stop eating the guava. Immediately, you will purchase the mango. That is known as the substitution effect. Because of reduced price, you stopped eating the guava. You can afford, until or unless your choice is there, particular choice of eating the guava is there. But if some wish is there that you want to purchase the mango only, you were not able to purchase because it was 100 rupees per kg. You were waiting for the price drop. That is known as the substitution effect, right? Okay, one by one, I'll take the question. Difference between demand and need. Yes, I told you demand. See, I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. I will drink water. Give me some water. That is need. I'm thirsty. I don't want to drink your water. I want to drink the iced tea. That may be the demand, right? So demand is always backed up by the desire. One question is solved. Please explain individual demand. Individual means the demand of a single person is the individual demand. Demand for the entire market is the market demand. Very simple. I've already explained the price effect and the substitution effect. Okay. Okay, I will use the dark color marker. Okay, I will do that. Definitely. Can you please explain features of demand and demand graph? There demand graph means, I will again explain it. If the price increases, demand decreases. Demand curve always goes downward. It goes downward, right? Okay. Could you please explain the substitution effect? I have already done it. Commodity means any product, good, commodity, right? Usually in commodity, we associate commodity with the necessity products like cereals, fruits, vegetable, milk. However, we can call commodity, any goods can be a commodity, right? I hope you understand. Law of demand, ठीक है, मैं एक बार और बताता हूँ. PPP related to the purchasing power, what factors can come into the PPP? See, this is not the topic related to purchasing power parity. As and when it will come, definitely I'll tell you. Final question which I will take as of now is there any technical difference between demand and quantity demanded? No, there is no any technical difference. Usually we say the demand of a particular product, that is quantity demanded of a particular product. Say quantity demanded of ice cream or demand of ice cream, one in the same thing. You can use this interchangeably, no issues. Right. So there are one or two odd issues that people want to know. I will tell you. Okay. So far these questions based upon the demand I have taken, but somebody was asking something particular. So let me do that. Okay. Oh, one second. ये थोड़ा screen F5. Yeah. I hope it is visible to all of you. Okay. As I said, somebody was saying dark use करिए, तो मैं dark use करता हूँ. So as you can see here, this is the price of a particular product. This is the quantity of a particular product. If price decreases, the quantity increases. Say here, the price of mango is say 100 rupees per kg, right? This is the price of the mango is 100 rupees per kg. And at this price, the people in the market, say there are 100 customers are there into the market, they were purchasing 50 kg of the mango from the market. As soon as the prices goes down, say if it is 80 rupees per kg, the people demand the more mango, automatically the demand has increased. Say now the people can afford to purchase 60 kg mango instead of 50 kg. So there is a sudden increase into the demand of the product into the market, right? It happens usually. Okay, so this is how the curve of the demand goes like this, right? I hope you understood. Okay, so now as I said that there are certain exceptions to the law of demand. That means, is it a scientific fact that always whenever there is a drop into the price, the quantity will increase of a certain commodity? The answer is no. So always this will not happen. So what are those conditions? What are those time frames when this phenomenon is not observed, right? Just opposite. Rather, it is observed that if I increase the price of the product, demand also increases. Just opposite of the law of demand. So what is the opposite of the law of demand? If the prices increases, demand also increases. If the prices goes down, demand also goes down. That is the opposite of the law of demand. Can it happen? The answer is yes, it can happen. So if yes, it can happen, then in what type of situations are there when it can happen? So there are 6 type of situations, as you can see on the screen, that when it can happen. So let's start with those 6 situations. Any one of them I'll take. Say let's start with the most typical one, which takes some time. That is known as the Giffen goods. Now, Giffen goods are basically first condition of a particular Giffen good. First of all, we need to understand what is a Giffen good. Number one condition of any good to be a Giffen good, that it should be an inferior good. Now you should ask, what is inferior good? I will give you the answer. So I am on to the point number 1 है ना, थोड़ा सा alert रहेंगे आप लोग. I am explaining the Giffen goods, and I am also explaining that why it is opposite to the law of demand, why it is an exception to the law of demand. Right? I am telling you that. Okay. So first exception is the Giffen good. So what is Giffen good? I am telling you that. So there are generally 3 types of goods, right? Luxurious good. Everyone knows what is luxury good, right? And normal goods. N stands for normal goods, and I stands for the inferior good. Usually we classify on the paying capacity or on the price of the good into the 3 different. Costly goods are luxurious goods, like costly paintings, like a Mercedes car is a luxurious goods, right? Audi car is a luxurious good. Derby race ticket is a luxurious product, right? What are the normal goods? Normal goods, fruits, vegetables, biscuit packets you purchase from the market, they are known as the normal goods. When you go into the market, you purchase maybe the basmati rice, wheat, or maybe you are purchasing the pulses. They are the normal goods. But my dear friend, in this world, there are many people, those who are very poor. They cannot even afford the normal goods. So they use the inferior goods. Inferior goods, maybe there was a time when we used to call the barley and millet as the inferior good. However, today's era, we cannot call barley and millet as the inferior good. Those are the different reasons. You are mature enough. I will tell you those are the different reasons why it is, because now again the mota anaj, the thick cereals in having the very high demand into the market. But there was a day when the barley was considered, or jaw, bajra was considered to be the inferior good. Why? Because it was cheaper than the wheat, right? So I will give you an example. So what happens? First of all, in order to be a Giffen good, the first condition that it should be an inferior good. Giffen good. That means all Giffen goods have to be the inferior goods. But all inferior good cannot be the Giffen good. Now what I'm saying, confused ho gaya? No need to be confused. All inferior good cannot be the Giffen good. But if you are a Giffen good, you have to be the inferior good. I'll give you an example. See this box. Say this box represents all the inferior goods. All the inferior goods. All inferior good cannot be the Giffen good, but a Giffen good have to be an inferior good. So see in this box, the circle represents the Giffen good. So if you want to see the given good, it has to be the inferior good first. Number one. Now, what type of inferior good? What type of inferior good are considered as the given good? The type of inferior good which violates the law of demand are considered as the inferior good. If the price of the bajra increases and if it results into the higher demand of the bajra or jowar, yeah, you can say the barley or millet. If the price of the barley and millet increases and in spite of decrease into the quantity, the people are consuming even more bajra and more jowar, more millets and more ragi, then this is known as the given good. If so, all those inferior goods, note it down somewhere, all those inferior goods which violates the law of demand are known as the given good. Now, you should ask me why it is happening that if the price of the product of the bajra is increasing and in spite of that its quantity is increasing. Very simple. I'll give you a very simple example. Say Ramesh is a person. Ramesh is a very poor guy. He is a daily laborer, right? And he earns say 100 rupees per day. Ramesh earns how many rupees per day? Ramesh earns 100 rupees per day. Now, when somebody is earning say 100 rupees per day, he can spend it only into the eatable items, right? So what he used to do with this 100 rupees, he used to purchase 70 rupees, say vegetable, paneer, pulses, or whatever you want to say, the mutton, chicken. So 70 rupees he used to purchase into the vegetable, mutton, chicken, paneer, or whatever you want to say. Rest of the 30 rupee, he used to purchase the barley or millet, which is the staple diet of his family, per day staple diet of his family. Say barley or millet he used to purchase. So this is how he spent the money. Agreed? Agreed. Now what happened if the prices of this barley or millet increases? What will happen? He has just 30 rupees. Now the barley and millet is coming of the 40 rupees. So he has just 60 rupees to pay for this vegetable. Less. And he has 40 rupees because it is his staple, like he has to take it to consume the daily calorie requirement. To recover the daily calorie requirement, he has to spend 40 rupees. Otherwise, calorie requirement will not be over. So therefore, he will spend the 40 rupees into the barley. So in spite of the increase into the price, he is purchasing the barley. Number one. Second, since he is spending 60 rupees into the mutton, chicken, or whatever you say, pulses, etc., uh, now he's spending 60 rupees. Earlier he was spending 70 rupees. So now he's spending less rupees. So less rupees means less amount of all these things. These things, mutton, chicken, or pulses, he was purchasing for the taste and additional food value. But he cannot afford it. So he has to reduce this amount. However, there is no change into the prices of the mutton, chicken, or pulses which he was purchasing. There was increase into the price of the barley. So what he will do, he has to sacrifice some amount. So he will purchase this less. When he will sacrifice this, again, there will be a reduced calorie intake. So in order to compensate that calorie intake, if earlier he was purchasing the barley, say 1 kg, and 1 kg barley was coming at 30 rupees, now 1 kg barley is coming at 40 rupees. 1 kg barley is coming at 40 rupees. But that 1 kg is not enough now because he has sacrificed 10 rupees from the mutton, chicken, etc. So you have to increase some amount. Say 1 kg, 100 grams more barley he will purchase. Therefore, he will end up in purchasing, say 45 rupees, spending 45 rupees into the barley, which is an inferior product. I hope you understand. So what happens if the prices of the inferior good goes up, and if such kind of conditions seen or observed that even if the prices are going up, people are purchasing it more, that is known as the given good condition. Opposite is also seen, that if the prices of the commodity goes down, the people are also consuming lesser quantity of it. Opposite is also seen. That is also a violation of demand. That is also case of the given good can be seen. Say if you take the opposite example, that if the prices of barley has increased rather than increasing, it has decreased, then he can purchase the same amount of barley in 20 rupees now. So he has saved 10 rupees. Income effect. He has saved 10 rupees. He will eat more mutton, chicken, and pearls. Right? I hope you are getting it. So given good. So if somebody asks you, what is the definition of the given good? All inferior goods which violates the law of demand are known as the given good. Case number one. Law of demand. All inferior goods which violates the law of demand demand are known as the Giffen good. Case number 1. Okay, थोड़ा सा tricky यही था, बाकी सब तो आसान है. Second is, second kind of condition where the law of demand is violated. Second type of condition is law fear of shortage or fear of future price rise. Abhi there was a shortage of the LPG, though there was no shortage in India, but because of that fear, the people, those who were doing black marketing, they have hoarded the product. Similar fear has seen during the COVID time. Right, suddenly the market will be closed down, there will be a closure into the market, and if there is a closure into the market, there is no food item available into the market. Suddenly people has purchased the more food item and stock it even at the higher prices. So at the higher prices, people are stocking more product, thinking that the product price will increase into the near future, right? However, it may not happen into the near future. It may not be seen or observed into the near future. But because of that fear, even at the higher price, the people are purchasing, they are ready to purchase more product. Again, it is a violation of the law of demand, right? Or exception to the law of demand. Because law of demand says that if the prices increases, quantity goes down, but it has not observed in this case because of fear of shortage and fear of future rise into the price. Third product. Somebody has asked this question into the discussion board also, I remember. What is a Veblen good? What is a Veblen or conspicuous good? This is the third question. See, Veblen goods are known as the conspicuous consumption is known as the costly goods consumption. Conspicuously, we paid the higher prices of a certain product. Now, it is not necessary that they are always very costly product, but we do not know, and we end up in paying higher than the actual price of the product. And there is a sudden increase into the demand of certain type of products. I'll give you an example. Say, for example, costly painting. Costly painting, there are auction houses. These auction houses go for the auction of the costly painting. So whosoever goes for the highest auction amount, he will get that product. And even though at the higher prices, people are demanding that product. Therefore, the price of the product is increasing. Say if certain product auction, say costly painting prices, it started from 1 lakh rupee per painting and it end up into the 10 lakh rupees per painting, right? So why it has happened? Because there were few people, those who were able to purchase it at 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh, 6 lakh, until 10 lakh. The people were there. However, at 10 lakh, only 1% was there. But there is a gap from 1 lakh to the 10 lakh. Within those 9 lakh, there are many people that even if the prices are increasing, people are willing to pay it more. Conspicuous consumption. Next is ignorance. People don't know market. People, they see market is a very dicey situation. You don't know, and you end up higher prices for the existing product. Basically, with tourists, this happens. If you go to the hilly areas, summer vacations are coming. Many of you may be going to the hilly areas. You don't know, and likewise, many other people are there. Say 20, 30 people are visiting to a particular hotel. They don't know that what is the genuine price, what is the actual price, and they end up in paying the more price. Emergencies. Now, this is also related to the season or the emergency. See, what doctor does, even the professional, the noble professional people are there and they are doing it. During emergency, if you want to go for the fast checkup, pay 500 rupees, pay extra. If it is a normal checkup time, pay 300 rupees, right? So during emergency, the prices of the product increases. So higher the prices, even the more the people are willing to take it. And of course, necessity product. If some product is a do or die situation, a medicine is there, which is in the shortage, then the people are ready to pay the higher prices for that. So there are 6 reasons when, or there can be many more reasons, but normally there are 6 reasons which are responsible for the exceptions to the law of demand. Giffen goods. What is the definition of the Giffen good? All inferior good which violates the law of demand are Giffen goods, right? Okay. Second is fear of shortage. It is easy to understand. Third is Veblen goods or conspicuous consumption. Fourth is consumption into the ignorance. Fifth is emergency, and sixth is necessity item. So when you see these 6 type of situation, you will find out that there are exceptions to the law of demand. So let me check now if there is any question into the chat box. Okay, मेरे को पता था क्वेश्चन आएंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Okay, let's take one by one, है ना? Okay, I'll take the question from here where I left. Okay, so this is the question from where I should take now. Sir, please explain the inferior product. My dear friend, what is the inferior product? Let me tell you. Now, technically, I'll tell you what is the inferior product. If the income of the society increases, hear me out very carefully. I'm telling you what is inferior product. If the income of the society increases, and with the increase in the income of the society is made up of individuals. So that means, in other words, if the income of the individual living into the society increases, right? And with the increase into the income, the consumption of some commodity item goes down. Then the commodities item whose consumption getting down are known as the inferior products. I repeat, any product consumption, if it goes down with the increase into the income, I'm not talking about price. Let me hear very carefully. If the income increases and the consumption of certain commodity goes down, those commodities are known as the inferior product. I will give you an example. See, if there is a society where poor people are there, they can afford only bajra or only barley, right? But if that society income increases what will they do? They will stop eating the barley. They can afford the costlier food item. They can afford the wheat. They can afford the rice. They can afford the pulses. So why they will eat the bajra? So with the increase into the income, they will quit or they will reduce the consumption of the barley. So this is the appropriate definition of the inferior goods. With the increase in income, if certain commodities consumption goes down, those are known as the inferior commodities. Very good. All inferior commodities are not the Giffen goods. Any inferior commodity which violates the law of demand is known as the Giffen goods. Right? So any inferior commodity. So first condition of a Giffen good should be that it should be the inferior product. If any inferior product which violates the law of demand, that is, in spite of increase into the prices, its demand is also increasing, that is known as the Giffen good. The question number 2, I think it is done now. Please explain the Giffen paradox in short. मैंने बता दिया. Definition of the Veblen goods, please. The Veblen goods are the costly products, usually high cost product, luxurious product, right? So please explain the Veblen goods and the conspicuous good again. Okay, the Veblen goods are the costly product. I think it is understood. It is the costly paintings, it is the costly car, antiques, etc. Conspicuous consumption means unknowingly we are paying higher for a certain product, right? A certain sense of ignorance is not there. See, ignorance is I don't know. Somebody is making me fool. That is a separate thing. Conspicuous consumption means inside the heart, I know that I am paying higher for this product, but I want it. I want it because it represents my social status. I hope you are getting it. That means if there is some antique which is there into the market, you know it is costly. The seller is charging higher than you are not ignorant. You know it is costly. But you believe that if you purchase this antique, it will increase your social status. You can show it onto the Instagram, Facebook that I have purchased this thing, right? That is known as the conspicuous consumption. I hope you are getting it. So if there is no doubt, write down yes. And mentor sir, is there any doubt to my learners? And if there is doubt,
No,
you can
sir.
still write out.
No, sir.
So whatever questions were there in my chat box, actually the mentor sir has the moderator sir transfer the question, important questions to the chat box. So if there is no doubt, so let's move ahead now.
Okay, sir.
How many students are there? 1500?
Yes, sir.
Okay, big amount. Chalo. It's good sign. Okay, so let's move. So I'm slow now. मैं fast नहीं पढ़ा रहा हूँ. Even if I'm not able to finish this unit in this class, I will finish half part of it. I will take the half part of the unit into the next class. I'm not in hurry, right? We will study few things only. But whatever we will study, it will be solid work done. Okay, let's move ahead. Right. So till this point, what we have studied? We studied number 1, what is demand? Demand is a composition of desire, willingness, and ability to purchase a particular product. Demand curve slopes downward. That means if the prices increases, demand decreases. What is the reason? Price effect is the reason. Price effect is equal to the income effect plus substitution effect. Next point we have studied, that is known as the exceptions to the law of demand. That means when prices increases, the demand increases. That is the exception to the demand. So what are those conditions? 6 conditions are there. Giffen good, fear of shortage, Veblen or conspicuous consumption, ignorance good, emergency product, and maybe the basic necessities or the need. These points we have discussed so far in this class. Now, next, let's see the interesting point, elasticity of demand. But before elasticity of demand, let me check out few things because I want to tell you few more things. Okay. Don't worry about all these. These are very simple. These diagrams look tough. Otherwise, this course is very simple. Or if it is not simple, I'll make it simple for you. Don't worry. Okay, let's talk about the elasticity of demand. But before I go to the elasticity of demand, because it is not possible to cover the elasticity of demand, just 12 to 13 minutes are left. So what I will do, I will tell you the factors which put an impact onto the demand. Because in order to study the elasticity of demand, we must know what are the factors which put an impact onto the demand, right? Onto the demand. Okay, so let's see. Let's talk now. Say price of commodity, say X. There is X commodity, its price there. Number 1 is the price. Factors affecting the demand. Number 1 factor is the price of the commodity itself. So if the price increases, demand decreases, and the vice versa. So say the price of the ice cream. If the price of the ice cream increases, its demand decreases, and vice versa. The another factors which put an impact onto the demand of ice cream can be the income of the people. Why? Y stands for income. Income of X. X is ice cream here. So if the income of the society increases, of course, they will eat more ice cream because they have more surplus money, right? And if the income of the society will decreases, they will eat less ice cream. So income and the demand goes into the same direction. If income increases, the demand increases. Income decreases, demand decreases. but the price is going other way around, right? These are the two products. Third, prices of the other commodities. Why? But this price of the other commodity means they are related commodity. Third, price of the other commodity, but they are related commodity. Now, what are related commodities? There are two types of related commodities: complementary products and substitute products. So C stands for complementary product and S stands for substitute product. I'll give you an example. If some guests come in your house, what do you ask, sir? What would you like to have, tea or coffee? So tea or coffee is complementary or substitute of each other? They are substitute of each other, because you will serve them either one of them. Either you will serve them tea or the coffee, depending upon their choice. So if some guests come your house, you ask, sir, what would you like to have, tea or coffee? So the guest is going to say, sir, I would like to have tea, right? Not the coffee. So they are substitute of each other. They are replaceable. Apple and pear, two fruits, they are substitute of each other. Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they are substitute of each other, right? So prices of the substituted product, it also put an impact onto the demand of a certain product. I'll give you an example. First of all, prices of the Y. Y stands for related product. Related product can be of two types: substitute and the complementary product, right? अब देखते हैं कैसे. Say I was taking the example of ice cream. During summers, if not ice cream, what else you will take? You take the chilled fruit juice, aerated drinks, cold drinks, etc. These are the substitute, nearby substitute, not direct, indirect substitute. Ice cream substitute can be the popsicles and can be the kulfi also, can be the kulfi if you say nearby. These are the substitute of ice cream. So if the prices of ice cream goes up very high, the people think, yeah, ice cream is too costly, we should purchase some candy, some popsicle we should purchase. So if the prices of the ice cream goes up, its substitute product demand increases. Like tea and coffee, another example. If the prices of the tea goes up, the demand of coffee increases. So just see here, just see carefully. If the prices of the tea goes up, arrow sign is upward. If the prices of the tea go up, as per the law of demand, what should happen with the tea? As per the law of demand, the quantity of the tea consumption should go down as per the law of demand. So if tea will go down, consumption or its demand will go down, we would like to have something else. We would like to have coffee. So of course, some consumption of the coffee, quantity consumed of the coffee will increase. So what do you see? You see that if the prices of the tea is increasing, the quantity consumption of the coffee is also increasing. And this is the change. This is a chain, CHAIN, chain. So it's a chain reaction. If the price of the tea increases, the demand of the tea decreases, but people will have something. So they will shift or substitute to the coffee. Therefore, the quantity of the coffee increases. Quantity demanded of the coffee increases. Very simple. So price of the related goods also affect the demand of the product, right? Similarly, the another related good is complementary product. So the opposite of the substitutes is the complementary product. That means one cannot live without another. Romeo, Juliet, you can say complementary product. Romeo and Juliet, they cannot live without, they cannot live apart. They are associated, right? So bulb and the holder, right? They cannot, bulb is useless without holder, right? And holder is useless without bulb. Pen and the ink. Pen is useless without ink. Car and the tire. Car is of no use without tire. Car and the petrol. Car, you cannot run car without petrol, diesel or any other fuel, right? So they are complementary product with each other. Razor and the cartridge, they are complementary product with each other, right? I hope you are getting it. So bread and butter, they are complementary product to each other. Now I'll take another example. Say for example, if the price of the butter, increases, the price of the butter increases, quantity as per the law of demand, what will happen with the butter? Tell me. Generally, what will happen? Generally, the prices increase into the butter will lead to the, as per the law of demand, decrease into the quantity of the butter. So if the people will eat lesser butter, they apply butter over bread. So there will be some impact onto the negative impact onto the sales of the butter also. Maybe the ink pen example, you can also take car and petrol example. So if the prices of the petrol increases, people will shift to the diesel car or the electric car, right? They will do it. The prices of the LPG increase, the people have shifted to the induction cooker, right? So what will happen? The quantity consumed of the price of the butter, BU लिख देता हूँ ताकि आप confused now. So quantity consumed of the bread, BR, bread will also goes down. Now this is the case of the complementary product. So what do you see? This relationship. If the price of the butter goes up, the quantity of the bread goes down. If the price of the car, petrol car goes up, the quantity of the sales of the petrol may go down. May, I'm using a word because other factors are also responsible, right? So this happens in case of the complementary product, right? So the factors which put an impact onto the demand of the product, so far 3 factors: price of the product itself, income of the society, price of its substitute products or related products. Related products can be categorized into 2 categories: substitute products S, and the another one is complementary product. So this is the case of the substitute product. The another case was of the complementary product case, right? 3 reasons. Apart from that, the another reason for the factors which is important is the number of advertisement. Number of advertisement. If people advertise more, if there is more promotion, of course, the demand of the product will slightly increase. But there is a saturation point, my dear friend. The relationship between the number of advertisement or promotion with the sales is of the S shape. S shape. I'll show you that shape. I'll draw that for you. Right? Say, for example, sales is here and promotion or advertisement on the y-axis. So initially, with the number of advertisements, sales is increasing, it has reached to its peak. And after that time, it will become saturated, because after some time, even if you send many advertisements into the market, there will not be enough demand of the product. Maybe because many other factors are also working. Maybe the market is already saturated. Everybody is now having that particular product. Maybe any other reasons could be there. So fourth factor which put an impact onto the demand of the product is the advertisement. The more the advertisement, the more will be the demand of the product at the initial phases. And after some time, there will be a saturation, and then there will be a dip also. Right? And therefore, the companies used to change or modify the product. There is a product extension. See, these two products, subjects are related. See, managerial economics is related to the marketing management. So people go for the extended product, right? They make certain modification into the product, right? Because people get bored with some product after some time. Okay, so this is the reason number 4. There can be many other reasons. Say preferences can also be a reason. There can be one more reason: population of a particular area. If the population of a particular area increases, then the consumption of almost all commodities increases. If the population of that area goes down, maybe the people have migrated from one place to the another places, it will put an impact onto the demand of that particular product. So if someone asks you what are the factors which put an impact onto the demand of the product, can you write down all those factors into the chat box? Do it for me. Number 1 factor, the price of the product itself, right? If the prices of the ice cream increases, demand decreases. The income of the society is the number 2 factor which put an impact onto the demand of the product. If the income of the society increases, people will consume more ice cream. Prices of the substitute product. If the price of the ice cream increases, maybe the people will start having the popsicles. Prices of the complementary product, right? Because how do we make the ice cream? With the help of the milk. If the price of the milk increases, the quantity demanded of the ice cream will also decreases, because increase into the price of the milk will reduce the demand of the quantity of the milk consumption, and eventually it will put an impact onto the demand of the ice cream, right? Complementary product. Advertisement. More the advertisement, more the demand, but up to a certain point. After a certain point, there is a saturation. Population of that particular area. Higher the population, higher the demand of the product. Lower the population, lower the demand of the product into the market. Preferences and taste. Taste and preferences, higher the taste and preferences of a certain type of commodity, the more will be the demand of that commodity, and vice versa. So my dear friend, it is 5:28 in my watch. So what I'm trying to do, I'm stopping here. But remember, we have studied half part of the demand, that is demand analysis part. We will do the extended part of the demand, that is elasticity of demand, into the next class. In order to understand the elasticity of demand, we need to know something about demand and factors affecting demand, law of demand, exceptions to the demand, which we know now. This lecture is recorded and it will be uploaded within 3-4 days on your LMS. Please, whenever you get some time, go through this lecture once again and come next week prepared, so that easily you will understand the concept of elasticity of demand. Meanwhile, I'm taking few questions. So remember, I have left it on this point, right? Let's take few questions if at all they are there. I'll be most happy to answer them. Okay, let me check. See, okay, very good. You people are okay. Ignorance. Acha, I will take from the ignorance now, because earlier question have been dealt by me. So ignorance means, say, it is however related to the exception to the demand, but I'll take. A customer goes to the market, a group of customers goes to the market, and they are actually not knowing that what is the actual price of the product, and they end up in paying more. That means even at the higher prices, they end up in creating more demand of that particular product, because they don't know about the reality, the actual prices. That is the ignorance. Why demand definition not consider time with place and feature? Who told you it is not considering? Those are the features and those are written there, right? If you were there into the class, these are the 3 important contribute, but demand is always measured on a certain time, and it is measured at a certain price. Say, what is the demand of Apple? What is the today's date? 18th April 2026 at 100 rupees per kg in Jaipur region. I am living right now in Jaipur. So in Jaipur region at 100 rupees per kg, and on the date 18th of April, what is the price of the apple? What is the demand of the apple, right? This is how it actually measures. Okay, explain the cross. I have not taken it yet. Yeah, है ना? So elasticity, all elasticity, I'll take it into the next week. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, so somebody has written beautifully the factors which put an impact onto the demand of the product. Very good. Government policies, income, taste, preference, even the government policies there, right? Is a small query. There is a small query. If the price of daily necessity food price rise, okay, and demand also increases at the same time, what we call it? We can say vegetable. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Okay, when I told you the definition of demand, I said other factors are constant. Price demand always represents the change into the quantity or demand of a product with respect to price. Remember this. Other factors are constant. Now let's talk about vegetables. Now what is the price of the peanut today? Peanut. Not peanut. What is the price of peas today? Cauliflower today. They're costly. Why? Green pea. Green pea is not available. Why it is costly? Because season has gone. Season has gone. It was at the lesser price into the winters. In summers you will not get it. Therefore the price high is there. Right? So the another factor, season is putting an impact onto the demand of the product apart from the price itself. So because there is no season, there is a scarcity, and if there is a scarcity, people are getting it at a very high price. They may be getting there. Maybe some people, those who are still eating it at a high price. So today, this is the season of Turaya, right? Or I should say the Tinda Turaya is there. Tomatoes are available, right? They are at the reason price. Your way of explanation. Okay, that's take. I'll take that compliment. But please ask relevant question only here, my dear friend. Has a demand a connect? Yes, of course. Demand and inflations are very very connected phenomenon. When inflation increases when there is an excess of demand of the product and supply is short. There is a shorter supply and people want it, like LPG. The supply was short and the people want it. Very simple. So resulting higher prices of that particular product. Is there any demand? Then why the product is called inferior? If there is high demand, okay. See, it is not high demand. It is necessity. It is, I should say, I cannot live without it, right? If somebody is very poor, say for example, if bicycle example I'm going to take, however, mark my word, bicycle is no more an inferior good now. There was a time 50 years back, 30 years back, the bicycle was considered to be the inferior as compared to bike. But the time has gone. The bicycle industry has rejuvenated the entire pattern. Bicycles are now very costly phenomenon. But let's take an example. Let's go back to 30 years back when the bicycle was inferior product as compared to the bikes, right? So why I will purchase the bicycle? Because I cannot afford the bike. So that is an inferior product. I can afford. The moment I will afford it, and there are thousands of people, those who cannot afford the bike because the bike is coming off say 50,000 and the bicycle is coming say 2,000 rupees. When I was young, it was coming at 2,000 rupees, right? So thousands and people, therefore, at the lesser price, its demand was more. People were not able to afford the bike. I hope I have given you the answer. Therefore, in spite of the inferior product, at a particular price, its demand was high. I hope you are getting it. Whenever there is a market, there is a segmentation. There are rich people, there are poor people, there are middle class people. So the poor people cannot afford the costly bike. They can afford the reasonable priced bicycle, right? Therefore, its demand was high. Okay. Okay. I hope you get the answer. If you got the answer, please write down yes into the chat box. Okay. Any other question? So I don't see any other question.
No sir, there are no queries.
Okay. Income elasticity भी किया ही नहीं हमने. जब मैं कर लूंगा तब आपको बताऊंगा. Sir, please, if there is no question, feedback launch कर दीजिए.
Sir, मैंने launch कर दिया है.
Thank you, learners. Let's meet next week, and next week we will study the elasticity of demand and we will finish.